Good evening, friends. I'm Santosh Takale. This is class for the HTML and block programming. This will run for approximately 6 to 8 months. Every week on Saturday evening, 8 p.m. as per Indian Standard Time, we'll be taking this class. This class will be taken by Neil Takale sir from United States of America, and that is why this particular time is suitable to him. So there won't be any change. In some busy hours, lecture may get postponed or cancelled, but then we will have sufficient period in coming academic year to go ahead with 25 to 30 hours and complete the syllabus which is predefined by us. So now coming to why this particular programming class has been arranged for the first standard to the fifth standard, but even nurseries, junior, senior student can attend. Even 6 to 10 student can also attend because this is something related to the simplistic programming, and this will help you to build the concept related to the programming and the logical thinking. So ये सारी चीजें ध्यान में रखें। ये सिलेबस डिफाइन किया गया है। आपके लिए एक ही रूल है कि आप एग्जैक्टली 5 मिनट्स बिफोर द क्लास टाइम आप ज्वाइन करेंगे। माइक और वीडियो तब तक ऑफ रखेंगे जब तक सर आपको माइक ऑन करने नहीं बोलते। If you understand this very simple instructions and if you follow this, probably will not charge you any fees during complete course duration. इसी कोर्स की बाहर पे या कहीं और जगह पे फीस हजारों में, कुछ लोग तो बहुत सारे हजार रुपए लेते। तो ये चीज में हम जाएंगे नहीं। We have one very simple request to make you. Please follow discipline. Please be sincere. Follow time discipline and don't show any indecent behavior in class. सारी चीजें माफी के लायक नहीं है तो आपको परमानेंट बेसिस क्लास से निकाला जाएगा। तो फ्री क्लास मतलब डिसिप्लिन, सिंसियरिटी, ये सब आपसे एक्सपेक्टेड है। I hope you enjoy this next 8 to 9 months session on HTML and block programming. Similarly, we have Python programming, which is available on Tuesday morning 8 a.m. in standard time. That also you can join with the only expectation of sincerity, dedication, hardworking nature, and disciplined behavior. Thank you very much, Neil sir. Please continue with your session. Try to speak in mixed mode of Hindi, Marathi, and English wherever possible. As such, students understand simple English, they understand your accent, they understand Hindi and Marathi very well. So please continue. Thank you so much.
Okay, with that, we'll start the class. So today will be just an introduction to two things, block programming and HTML. So we'll go to our slides for today. And we'll start. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Wait something. Okay. So now we'll start. So this is our Scratch Scratch.
Neil, your screen is not visible. Okay, now it's visible.
Is my screen lagging? Okay, you know what? I think I'll leave it like this. Is not, what's it called? Will that be okay?
Good evening. Neil sir will join immediately. He has left the class to just check why that particular presentation is not appearing and why his voice is not coming clear. तो नील सर अपना नेटवर्क चेक कर रहे हैं जैसे
Yeah,
ही
yeah,
उनका या और प्रेजेंटेशन दिखेगा ही विल कट प्लीज कट थैंक
yeah. Okay. And so, you can all see my screen, right? If you guys could just type yes or no in the chat. Okay. So first we'll start off with what is Scratch. So Scratch is a block programming language. So you have blocks and they have very easy to understand sentences in them. And when you plug them in, the computer does that. It's developed by a university here in the United States, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. So we'll be going over a short demo, and I just want you guys to look at what I'm doing and I'll explain what exactly is happening. Today is just going to be a short introduction. I'm not going to be looking to teach you guys anything very specific. That will be covered in later classes. So we'll go to our demo here. And these demos have video tutorials. If you want to try these later, I'll put the link in the chat. So over here, I'll zoom in. So over here, we can see our top yellow block, right? When run. So that means when we press this run button, this red bird will do whatever we tell it to. So as it states here, we want to catch this pig, as in we want to go to its location. So to do that, we'll just put these blocks in what order we feel it will take us to the pig. So as you can see, this is already pointing towards the pig. So if we just move forward, the pig will reach the pig. So if we put one move forward block, it should move us forward one block. So as you can see, when we clicked so it says when run, move forward. So when we did click the yellow run button, it did move us forward one block. But then if we add a second one, then by logic, we should be able to see that when we click run, we move forward 2 times. So if we try that, so you can see that we do reach that pig. So it's these basic instructions that we're giving to this bird. So does everybody understand that? Sujit. Yeah, it's very easy to understand and make simple games with that. So later we'll be going over actual Scratch. This is just a simple version of Scratch. Later on we'll move on to the actual like full version of it. Right now this is just a short demo, just so that you guys can see what exactly block programming is. If this was like actual like Python programming or whatever, we would have to type out everything. Yeah, so if you hover over this, oh, it's not showing it now, but when you hover over to these, they should show that this will move me one space forward. So we can see that for this one, we already have one space move forward. So what should we add after that? Feel free to type anything in the chat. I just want to see participation. So as I said, we already have one move forward. What should we add? Should we turn left and then move forward, turn right and then turn left, or move forward and then turn, or what? Sujit, you're getting there. Should we do it just once or twice or 3 times? Okay, since nobody else is saying anything in the chat, I'll give the answer. So you see, we'll move over to this space when we press run. So we want to move over 2 more spaces. So Sujit was right. We add another move forward, and then we add another move forward after that one. So then we should be able to move forward 3 spaces. So now you get into more, what is it? More complicated ones where you have to turn in the proper direction. So this might be a bit difficult, but you can think of turning left as in you're turning counterclockwise. So you'll be pointing here at first, and then if we click turn left, instead of pointing to this block, the bird will then point to this block. So we can see, yeah, it starts pointing to this block. So turn left is counterclockwise. You go 90 degrees counterclockwise. And then turn right would be 90 degrees clockwise. So doing that, what do you think we should put? Yeah, so it Tesham, you are partially correct. Shlok, you also got part of it correct. So it so you got that we're supposed to move it forward 2 times and then turn right. But if you see, just thinking about it, you move forward, and then you simply turn. But you haven't moved forward from that spot. So if we go and see, the bird will move forward 2 times and just turn. So after we turn, we want to move forward 1 block, right? So add 1. And now if we look, what this statement says is when we click run, we're going to move forward 1, turn right. And as I said before, turn right is to turn clockwise or to turn to the right. You turn down in this situation. And then you move forward 1 block. So we're going to do this thing called tracing our program. This is so that you don't have to click run every single time you want to test your program. You can do this without actually pressing run just to make sure. So we have 2 move forwards. So then 1, 2. then we turn right, then we turn clockwise, we turn right, and then we move forward 1. And then by tracing, we should be able to see that, oh, this is where we'll meet the pig. And as you can see, that's correct. So I don't want to get too far into this just by myself. So for this one, I'll just simply be doing what the chat says. I won't say anything. So people in the chat, please give it your best try. If you guys need to look at it for longer, just let me know so I can switch back. Okay, so Karnika says to add 1 step forward. So we already have move forward. Forward, turn left. Sujit, do you think that's all that we need? Do you think we can run the program? Okay, forward 1 time, then turn left, then forward. We're getting there. Sujit, okay, so you think that's all? Okay, let's run this and we'll see. Actually, just trace as I did before. Just trace each block of this program and see where exactly we'll be going. And if you still feel that that is the proper program or the proper sequence of action, then we'll go through with it. So Shlok, Sujit, just trace what you guys wrote and see. Do you think that it will take us to the pig? Okay, so since I'm not hearing an answer from those two, I will assume that they're okay with what they wrote. So we'll test it out. So we'll just trace it. We don't need to press run. So when run, you want to move forward, okay? Then you turn left. And as we said, left is counterclockwise. So you go move forward 1, you turn left, okay? Then you move forward. So we're almost there. But as Vivian said, we need to turn to the right. Forward 1 time, then turn left, forward, then turn right, then forward. Yes, Shlok. Yeah, you got it now. Oh, okay, okay, Anushka. Okay, my bad. So then you turn to the right, yes, and then as Shlok said, you move forward. So if we run that, we can see this. So on your own, I'll give you the link at the end of the class. So on your own, you can try these short puzzles. And once you get to, I think, 6 or 7, 6. Okay, yeah, 6. Go up to 6. Don't do 6, but just stop there. We'll cover these concepts in the next class. Okay, so that was our introduction to Scratch, to block programming. It's very simple and you can learn how to do it using these games. And so then next we move on to HTML. So what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. HTML is used for website creation. So these basic websites will often use HTML for design. So today will just be very short intro. I'll just be teaching you how to open and set up an HTML page, and I'll just be showing like a sample HTML layout. So this is kind of what an HTML document can look like. So this would be what you put in into an HTML document. So just take a look at that, and I'll explain some concepts that are present within it. So a basic concept of HTML are these tags. So these tags are, okay, let me just, so these tags are the basic component of HTML. You have one that is called the opening tag. And then when you want to close off that tag, you just add a forward slash. So these tags are made up of the greater than sign, whatever tag you want to put in. So this is an example tag, and then your closing tag is just greater sign forward slash that tag and then less than sign. And there are different tags for different purposes. We won't be going over them in depth today. Again, that will be in next class. But today is just so that you guys can see that, oh, HTML has opening, closing tags. And when you put just normal text in between the opening and closing tags, they will gain special properties. So title will make the title of that HTML page title. And then heading 1. H1 means heading 1. So H1 will make this text, this is a heading, bold. And then paragraph is just normal text. So it'll show up normally on the page. So next I will be showing you how to set up an HTML file. So did everybody understand basic opening and closing tags for HTML? If you didn't, it's fine to say no. Okay. So I think it will be better explained when I go into how to make and set up an HTML file. Then we'll go over basics there. Okay? Does that sound good? Okay. Then we move to how to set up an HTML file. So you open your File Explorer. Can you guys see the File Explorer on my... Okay, so you guys can see it. And then you right click. And then you go down. So you view, sort by, group by. You want to go all the way down to new. And then you want to open up a text document. So we'll just call this one test. And when you open it up, it's just a normal notepad. But then you want to go into this save as test. And then you want to add a .html. So then now we have our HTML file. So then you go down to open with, and now you can open it with Google Chrome. And as you can see, we don't have anything in that test file. So our HTML page is just blank. So first, I'll just be showing a basic page. So we start over here, and when you want to start up an HTML page, generally you put this opening tag HTML, and then after it, you want to add your closing tag, which is the same as the opening tag, except you put that / there. And then within it, we'll put another set of opening and closing tags. This is going to be, in the example I showed, a paragraph tag, this one down here. So we'll be able to see what exactly it does. And we'll also be testing out this header one. So if we put hello world in between the paragraph tags, it should show as normal text. So then if we go to our Chrome, then we click open with Google Chrome. So then you can see, right? Before it was blank. And then now, since we added that paragraph tag, it says hello world. Does that make the concept of opening and closing tags a bit more clear? I'm more so looking for the yes response from people who didn't understand it before, like Shlok or Anushka. Okay, if it's not clear right now, then I'll show like how different tags will make the text look different. If that doesn't clear it up, then we can move on and I'll show it in depth, as I said, in the next class. This class is just a short introduction. You don't need to understand everything right now. But in the next classes, I will be focusing on all you guys understanding everything I'm teaching. So then we can move back to here and we'll see if we want to make the text bigger, then we'll change this paragraph tag to a header tag. So now we go and save, and you can see Control S will save. So then we go back here and we refresh. You don't need to open the HTML document in Chrome every single time. You can just refresh. So then you can see this header one tag makes the text look different than the paragraph tag. So you can see that each tag has a different purpose. And later we'll see that when you can add color to this text using color elements. But that will be covered later, but it's something to look forward to. So does that clear it up? Okay, so you guys understand now that each tag has an opening and a closing, and that each tag has a different purpose. So if we go and see this test document, we can just copy and paste it into this one. And now we'll see how this one looks. We'll save it, and then we'll go to this test. So you can see that this is a heading. So you can see that you have our header 1 tags. And then the text in between them, this is a heading, should be bigger, right? And we can see that it is bigger. And that we have this paragraph tag. And then within that paragraph tag, we have this is a paragraph. And we can see that that paragraph is smaller size than the heading, right? And then finally, this is a new tag that I didn't talk about, the title tag. So what the title tag does is that it doesn't show text on the HTML page, but you can see that over here, for each window I have open, you have a title, right? So this Google Meeting, it has a title of Meet, 1st through 5th, HTML and block coding. And then this, for my Google Slides, we have Scratch and HTML Lesson 1. And then for this one, our page title is page title. Now, how did we do that? Well, we can see, as I said before, using this title element. So within the header of the HTML page, you have this title tag. So there are a lot of tags, and we'll be covering them in later classes and what they do and when to use them. But at the moment, you can just see that, oh, this was because of the title tag. So what does the title tag do? It gives the page or the tab a title. Then we have the header tag. What does that one do? It makes a header. So it makes our text bigger and it makes it bold. And then what does the paragraph tag do? It makes normal text. So does everybody understand those 3 tags? Or rather, that each tag has a different purpose? Can you please explain how to open HTML page again? Okay, yeah. So I'll just close this. And we can go in and do a completely new one. So you open this folder, right? So do you get that first step? So you open your File Explorer and you go into a folder. Then you right click and you go to New. So do you get that? This is for everybody, by the way. So you can try doing this if you have a laptop on hand. Okay. So then after that, okay, wait. Half of it. Okay. So then after going to New, then you go down to this. It's called a text document and you click that. And then that should bring you to here. So then I'm just going to name this one test. If you ever want to change the name, you can always do save as, but that won't just change the name of your file. That will create a new version of the file. So if you want to ever change the name, you click once and then you click it twice. You need to add a bit of pause because if you just double click, it'll open up the file. So what you want to do is you click once, wait, okay, click once, you wait, and then you click again. And then that should let you rename the file. So then moving on, then you open up your file, double click, and then you won't be able to make an HTML page right now with this. So what you do is you go to File, then you go to Save As. And then when you go to Save As, you don't need to change the type of the file or anything. What you do is that you keep the name the same, you just add a dot HTML. Do you understand that? Okay. So then after you type that out, then you go to save. Mukta. Okay. So what don't you understand? Okay, good. But Mukta,
Yes,
oh
sir.
no, you can keep yourself muted. Just type in the chat what exactly you don't understand. Okay, if there's no response, then I'll just move forward because it seems that most of the people who are responding then got it. If you're scared of responding because you don't know what's going on or you have a question, don't feel afraid. I'm here to answer any of your questions. I'm not going to make fun of you. The screen is not clearly visible. Does this make it better? If I full screen it? Hmm. Does anybody else have that same problem? The screen not being clearly visible? Because if it's okay, so it's okay, so Sujit, you're able to see my okay, so there's a chance that maybe your internet is lowering the quality of the video so that you won't be kicked from the meeting. So in the future, you can always try and join the meeting closer to wherever your router is. I ask that you keep yourself muted uh, because yeah, there might be feedback or whatever. So now we move on. So we have our two files now since we did save as. And as I said before, save as will create a new version of that file. It'll create a separate file. So we have our original one, just the text document. That won't do anything now. So we can right click and delete it. Now we have our test. Over here it says Opera GX web document, but if my browser was Chrome, if my default browser is Chrome, it'll say Chrome document or it'll say Internet Explorer document. So then now we can do two things. We can either both things require us to right click. So we right click and now we go to open with. So down here in the first section, open with, not open, open with. So we can click either Google Chrome. Sir, could you enlarge the size of the screen? This this thing won't enlarge. I'm sorry about that. I can make it full screen, but this won't enlarge. Okay. So now we can right click and then we go down to open with. Now if we click Google Chrome, as you can see, there's nothing in there because when we did save as, there was nothing in that text document. So then what we should do is we go down to open with, and then instead of Google Chrome, we go down to Notepad. So opening with Notepad will be the basic way of editing your HTML document. So you use opening with Chrome to see what exactly you made, and you open with the text document in order to see the actual HTML code. So then you can edit it. Because over here in Chrome, I can't edit this. I can't click here and then type out hello world. That's not possible. So then instead what we do here is that we can add our tags as I showed before, and then we can type out hello world. So does everybody understand that? It is not showing in mine. What do you mean? So it's not showing Notepad? Okay, is it hmm. So when you go to make a new file, it doesn't show Notepad as a kind of file? Hmm. And you're doing this on a laptop, right? Hmm. Well, I don't have any solutions right now. You can always try and see if you can download Notepad. Yeah, you might want to see if you could download the application somewhere, because using Notepad is one of the easier ways of making and editing HTML page. But for your homework, I'm not going to make you show any or like upload any HTML files. All the HTML homework will be done on paper. Just having a laptop that could do the HTML for you would be simpler. But if you want to, I believe this W3 schools HTML. So this site, so I'll be posting this site as well. So I'll post this site later in the chat. So this is just a basic HTML editor. So this will do everything that you really need. So you can put in whatever you want. So if we did this one, it won't show the page title because this isn't your own HTML page. This is just an HTML editor on a web page. It won't show this title up here, but it'll show all this text stuff. So does that provide a small solution? I'll be putting all these links in the chat in just a few minutes when we close up the class. Just be sure to copy them and put them somewhere just in case you need them or if you want to use them. Because this editor is probably a better way of just testing out these text, these visual uh, parts of the HTML, it would probably be easier than setting up a new HTML page every single time. So, Sujit, does that give a solution? I don't understand. Sorry. So do you understand that there's this site? I'll be putting the link in the chat where you can type out HTML and run it. So it's very similar to our block programming example then. You just type whatever out and then you click run. So I could take all of this out and it wouldn't really change anything now. Okay, so glad that works that out. So we went over how to set up an HTML file. So, and then we'll just go over opening and closing tags again formally. Just a short introduction. And we'll go over them more in depth in the next class. So the text inside these opening and closing tags has special formatting based on the tag you used. So we saw with paragraph tag, we had just normal size text. The header 1 tag, we have bigger text and it's bolder. There's also another header tag, header 2. Let's see what that one does. So now we can see that header 1 is the biggest header tag. It makes the text the biggest and the boldest. Header 2 just it also makes the text bigger and bolder, but it makes it less bigger and bolder than the header 1 tag. So each time you add a number to the H tag, it will make it smaller. So does everybody understand that? Okay. So with that, that's our basic introduction. If anybody has any questions, specific questions, like, oh, how do you do this in that Scratch demo, or do you, or like to go over opening and closing tags again, just say them in the chat. Mukta. Oh, some text is too small. I can't see it. So on this, are you saying it's too small? I can try zooming in. So can you see it better now? Okay. So yeah, my screen is a bit bigger, so I'll try zooming in whenever we do these demos, just to make it more visible for everybody. Just let me know let me know as soon as possible that you can't really see. Even if I'm not asking for questions, I'll be checking back in the chat every so often, just to make sure that if anybody has any questions like these, I can respond to them. So don't be afraid or anything. Just tell me if you can't see something. Sir, share the link for block program. Yeah. So if that was all the questions, then I will be dropping this link. And you can put it on a sticky note or something, and this editor as well for those people that weren't able to set up an HTML file. If you aren't able to get to it in this next week, uh, I know obviously maybe some of you have other things to do, but if you can try and set it up if you weren't able to now, uh, but this is always an easier way just to start editing your own HTML. So I think that those were the two links that I said I would post in the chat, right? Are there any more links or websites that you want me to give you? Yes, no. You can type no in the chat. Okay, so if there aren't any more links, then I will stop presenting. And with that, I think our class should be done. If yeah, and that's it for this class. Next week, same time, Saturday, what is it, 8 p.m. in the evening, Indian Standard Time. We'll be going over same things in that short block programming game. Yeah, Karnika, yeah, no problem. I will be giving links out as we go. So when we introduce Scratch, I'll be giving you the link to the Scratch editor. There is a downloadable version of it, but we'll get to that later, obviously. I don't want to go too into it. So with that, class is done. See you all next week. You are free to leave.